powerful strategy that I like to use often is the cost segregation study. So the cost segregation study is the ability to accelerate depreciation on a residential rental property or a commercial property, right? There's either 27 and a half years of depreciation or there's 39 years of depreciation. That's a long time, right? 27 and a half years or 39 years to write off an entire building. Now, the IRS is aligned to segregate out components of the property that can be depreciated in a quicker amount of time, such as lighting, flooring, appliances, paint. All of these different components of the property do not last 27 and a half years or 39 years. So we can get the cost associated with the components of the property and segregate them out and depreciate them on a 5, 7, 10, and 15-year depreciation schedule, as opposed to the building's 27 and a half or 39-year depreciation schedule. That strategy is my favorite to use. I had a client last year. We were about to file her tax returns in the month of October, because she had gone on extension and she owns multiple rental properties. So she's a heavy real estate investor. One of the strategies that we did for her to avoid her owing over $100,000 in taxes was we created her a management company, and we hired herself on payroll since she's managing her own properties, and her children work in her management company, and we were able to place them on payroll. So that was one way we were able to create an expense. But the cost segregation study coming in right on top of that strategy was able to accelerate the rest of the taxes that she was gonna owe. We started out the first meeting with the client about to owe about $117,000. We implemented one strategy that got her down to $63,000, and the cost segregation wiped out the rest of the $63,000 tax liability. This is the fun I have in the chair I sit in, seeing tax savings happening in real time from tax planning. You have to plan for the savings. And that's what she did with us. She came into the office, we met over multiple appointments, we sat down and drawed out the strategies, and we were able to get those strategies implemented. And now she's a client of ours every single year. And one of the things that we were able to do for her, since she was so active in real estate and now she's leveraging her management company, is now she qualifies as a real estate professional. So even though I was able to take all these write-offs and she didn't owe taxes, now if I put her at a loss with all these different write-offs, she can claim the losses. Now we're looking at big refunds coming back to her from the I, the R, and the S. Talk about tax savings that you dream of, right? And so I look back at this client and how she got herself to a place of success, but I also commend this client for her seeking out information, because she had aligned with CPAs to do tax compliance, where the CPAs are taking her documents, her W-2s, her 1099s, her mortgage interest statements, they're inputting it into the computer software, and they're spitting back out a copy of the return. That's tax compliance. Any CPA with a pulse should be able to file your returns with your information, because the computer program does 90% of the work, okay? Now, she came to us for tax planning, where we are leveraging IRS tax strategies to formulate, IRS tax codes to formulate strategies to reduce her taxable income in real time. So when she goes to see her CPA, all she has to do is just hand off the paperwork. So she was able to benefit from sitting down with us over time and having multiple consulting meetings. Tax planning isn't something where you just look at someone's returns and say, oh, here you go. You need a cost seg, you need an S corp. Tax planning is something where you sit down and you figure out what a person's intentions are on a personal level, on a business level, on an investment level, on a retirement level, so you are implementing the right strategy that's not going to hinder a client. For example, let's just say you had a client that was coming to you and they're trying to reduce their taxes, but you didn't take the time to ask them about all the goals that they have, so you write off everything for them. But then the following year, they want to buy a house and they go to their mortgage lender. Now their mortgage lender tells them, hey, you can't qualify for a loan with me because you do not have enough income on your tax returns. Maybe next year. Now that client might come back to you upset saying, hey, why did you take all these deductions on my tax return? I can't buy a property. That is improper tax planning. Proper tax planning is making sure you ask all the right questions, because you're helping your client build a legacy. And that is the most important thing. So you can't just think about where your client is right now. You have to look back to where your client was on the past tax returns, where your client currently stands, and you also need to look to the future of what your client's intentions are so you can give them the best recommendations in real time. That's what led to our client having those tax savings, and that's what leads to our clients benefiting from the tax planning services.